Hey everyone, I'm Nubia and this is my workshop in whimsicality. I think within our work, especially concerning young people, we have a need to adapt to different situations very quickly. Whether that may be, an unplanned interruption in the day or an intense emotional situation, it's important to take a step back and appreciate the things that make us happy or that help us maintain a stable day otherwise. So I'm out here in the Cooley Dickinson parking lot, which is in itself quite whimsical. And I want to just show you guys how I introduce whimsicality into my own life. It introduces joy, and it's grounding, and it allows me to be grateful for the things that I have. So I'll show you. So I'm down here by, I think, this little drainage pool behind Cooley Dickinson, and I'm noticing that it's really cold, but when I take a moment, I can feel the sharpness of the coldness on my fingers. I know you can't feel that through the screen, but instead of complaining about the cold, I thought about how warm my jacket makes me feel. I'm so grateful for my jacket. And I'm even grateful to feel the cold because it might not be something that's around for a long time. So just the feeling of the crisp, dry air on my hands, it makes me feel so alive. And now I'm just sort of walking up to the lake, and I'm feeling the grass beneath my feet. And if I see anything that I like to investigate, I just stop and investigate. For example, I'm not sure if you can see in the camera, but I see this cute little plant. It's growing despite the cold, which is a really great metaphor for our time in service, where we can see the long-term benefits of the small things that we do, even though the immediate situation at hand might seem out of control or otherwise not ideal. But even though it's cold, and taking a second to look at these little plants, I'm looking at how cute the little leaves are, and that makes me really happy. I also want to take a second to go down to the lake and see what I can spot and what I can feel and what I can otherwise sense. So right now, I'm looking at these cattails, and I'm realizing, I've been down here before, I'm realizing that most of the seeds have come off of the stalk. And that makes me a little sad, it makes me appreciate the impermanence in nature and how the different states of grass or trees in each season creates sort of a sense of a temporary sense of peace or appreciation for the fact that because we have dead plants, we get new plants in the spring. And I'm sure that these plants are a shelter for lots of little bugs and critters and maybe even mice. I remember I came down here once and saw a big spider on the web, but I didn't freak out because I was like, wow, I'm glad that this Mr. Spider gets a place to hang out. And I'm glad that, I'm sure that, well, when I was here, it was in the fall, and there are lots of little bugs and critters, so I'm like, I know that guy is eating good. Let's see what else we can find. Here's some, I'm not sure what this is, but some sort of grass. Barley, maybe? I don't know. But it makes me happy because I'm feeling the dry branches in my hand, and they feel very smooth and soft. Very smooth and soft. And that's very grounding because of the cold air. So, you see how I'm finding different things to appreciate and introduce whimsy into, despite, everything being dead and the air being cold and it being a little windy. Wow. There's a beautiful field in the distance, and even though everything is dry and dead, I'm looking at how the sun shines into the greens, and it feels soft and warm. And I think that there's something beautiful about the warmth of the sun in the winter. It reminds me that even though the world a situation may feel one way, there are always silver linings. Let me get a little closer so you can see. Is there anything that you can notice about these plants here? Maybe it's how fluffy the cute little seeds are. Maybe it's the sound that these stalks make as the wind combs through them. Maybe it's the sound you make when you shake it really fast. I know that you guys aren't here physically, but maybe there are some things that you can notice about the scenery that I haven't mentioned. Oh, look! You see that? It's a little bud. It's a reminder that, again, this season is temporary. Everything is temporary. And it makes way for new growth. As you can see, there are little buds that are gonna maybe turn into flowers or leaves in the spring. Just waiting for the right time. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to show the scenery around me as I head back up to the parking lot. And I just want you to sit and take some time to appreciate the small things. Let's take one last look. Thanks for joining me on this journey, friends. And have an amazing time being whimsical.